Today, we're unlocking the vaults of Van Cleef and Arpels to answer one massive question. Why do their jewels command prices that can dwarf mansions and fine art? Well, it's a wild story of royalty, revolutionary design, and artistry that's almost hard to believe. So, let's get right into it.
Okay, let's just start with the number 10.5 million dollars. Yep, in 2013, that was the price someone paid at auction for a single piece of jewelry. A brooch. Not a crown, not a massive necklace, a brooch.
And right there, that's our central question, isn't it? What on earth could make a single object that valuable? What's the magic formula of history, craftsmanship, and pure rarity? That's exactly what we're here to figure out.
To even begin to understand a price tag like that, you have to go way back. The story of Van Cleef and Arpels is completely tied to the city where it was born, Paris, right at the dawn of the 20th century.
So the story kicks off in 1896, but the brand's legend really gets cemented just 10 years later. They open their first shop in the perfect spot, right in the heart of Parisian high society, literally across from the Ritz Hotel. Now jump forward 50 years, and they're not just serving socialites, they're creating the wedding jewels for Hollywood royalty, Grace Kelly, as she becomes actual royalty.
And that job for Grace Kelly's wedding, that wasn't just a one-time gig. It was so important, so iconic, that it earned them the official title Patented Supplier of the Principality of Monaco. You can't just buy that kind of prestige. You have to earn it. And they earned it by creating some of the most legendary masterpieces in jewelry history.
So let's actually look at some of these game changers, the pieces that really built the legend. And you've got to think of these less like jewelry and more like historical artifacts, each one with its own incredible story.
First up, a piece that is pure genius. It's called the Zip Necklace. Now, the story goes that the Duchess of Windsor, who was a massive style icon back then, is the one who actually suggested the idea to the company's artistic director way back in the late 1930s.
And this is where the mind-blowing technical skill comes in. It works exactly, and I mean exactly, like a real zipper. You can wear it open as this absolutely gorgeous necklace, or you can slide the tassel up, zip it closed, and poof, it transforms into an incredible bracelet. It's as much a masterpiece of engineering as it is a piece of jewelry. Just amazing.
Okay, so from technical wonders, we move to royal projects on a scale that is almost impossible to imagine. In 1967, Van Cleef & Arpels was given the job of creating the entire coronation set for Farah Pahlavi, the last empress of Iran.
Just look at the stats for the crown alone. Pierre Arpels himself had to fly to Tehran 24 times just to pick the perfect stones from Iran's national treasury. We're talking almost 1,500 diamonds, over 100 pearls, and the centerpiece is a single emerald that's 150 carats. It's just breathtaking. Now, this set has never been sold, but its estimated value today hovers around $20 million. It's not just a crown, it's a piece of national history made by the absolute best craftsmen on the planet.
All right, next up is a single stone with a story that stretches back over 300 years. This is the Princey Diamond. And this is not just any diamond. It's an incredibly rare 34.65 carat kink diamond from the Golconda mines in India, a place famous for producing some of the most flawless and beautiful diamonds in all of history.
So Van Cleef and Arpels get their hands on this historic stone in 1960. They throw a party in their New York showroom and christen it the Princey Diamond. Then, in 2013, it pops up at auction and sells for a jaw-dropping $40 million. This is the perfect example of how the brand's name, their prestige, actually becomes part of the gemstone's story, massively adding to its value.
So we've seen the history, we've seen the iconic pieces, but how do they do it? How do they achieve that level of perfection? It's time to pull back the curtain on a revolutionary technique that is their secret weapon. It's called the Certi Mystérieux, or the Mystery Set, and it's an innovation so unique that it's basically synonymous with Van Cleef & Arpels. The whole point is to create a surface that looks like it's made entirely of gemstones, with absolutely no metal visible at all. It's like magic. So the secret is the insane amount of labor involved. Every single tiny stone has to be perfectly cut to slot into a hidden gold grid. The little prongs that hold the stone are totally invisible from the top. We're talking about a technique that takes hundreds, sometimes thousands of hours of work, and only the most elite master jewelers can even attempt it.
And this technique is what lets them create pieces like the chevron mysterious necklace, where you see these rivers of rubies flowing like a seamless, uninterrupted carpet of pure color. It really is pure magic, but it's achieved through just unparalleled human skill.
But you know, the value of Van Cleef and Arpels isn't just locked away in these multi-million-dollar, one-of-a-kind masterpieces. It's also in the cultural icons that have defined what everyday elegance looks like for decades.
Here you have three pillars of the brand's lasting power. You've got the Passepartout from the 30s, an early example of that cool transformable jewelry. Then in 1968, the Alhambra was born, that four-leaf clover that became a global symbol of luck and style. And today, their Poetic Complications watches are literally tiny, moving pieces of art you can wear on your wrist.
And get this, they're not just creating this art, they're actively preserving it. The brand actually founded its own school, called L'École, to teach the history and craft of jewelry making to anybody who wants to learn. It just shows you how deep their commitment is. They see themselves as custodians of an entire art form, not just a company selling stuff.
So, we come all the way back to our original question. Why is it all so expensive? Well, it's the royal history. It's the game-changing innovation. It's the centuries of stories and the thousands of hours of artistry poured into every single piece. When you buy Van Cleef & Arpels, you're not just buying a jewel, you're buying a piece of history. And that leaves us with one final thought. When something holds that much story, is its value truly limitless?